7 seas of rye. And from probably the title of this video and the intro, you know what it's about. Marvel. So I took the time and liberty to put some of my Marvel stuff in the background here. I'll just take you a quick little run through. We have a Thanos pop, Doctor Strange action figure, Hulkbuster and Hulk action figure. We got, of course, still John Deacon. Give him a name. Dang it, there goes Cap. Maybe he'll become the Falcon like in Endgame. But yeah, use #draw. And then we got a Deadpool pop, got Crossbones, a big Ant-Man, Deadpool. We have Whiplash and the Silver Centurion Iron Man, a little Thanos right here, and Captain America. Okay. I'll switch to this stuff maybe. Okay, back here. Okay. So Marvel. Started by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And their first 2 superheroes. And plus this year will be Marvel's 75th anniversary. That's impossible. Because Captain America's 75th anniversary. Maybe it's 80th anniversary then. Well, their first 3 superheroes were Namor the Submariner, the original Human Torch, not Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four, and, of course, Captain America. Well, these heroes didn't fight bad guys like Thanos or Ultron or Dr. Octopus. They fought, since this was the 40s, they fought Germans and Japanese. They fought Nazis and commies. But then the comics code kicked in, so they weren't allowed to actually fight people. So, say, instead of Wonder Woman beating up crooks in an alleyway, Wonder Woman was turning giant and beating up aliens. And I know I'm talking about DC, but these are actually some of the wacky storylines. And you could have the Justice League playing baseball and Superman bowling. I am not kidding. I'm going to find you these issues right now. Okay, and back to this. Honestly, I've actually been taking time to edit my videos better so they don't look like garbage. So you're welcome. And no #draws lately, so weird. But whatever. So then they started adding new superheroes in the 60s. We had Iron Man, the Hulk, Ant-Man, the Wasp, Spider-Man, and the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four was the first superhero team for Marvel. I honestly probably should have read my Marvel Ultimate Guide. Ultimate Marvel. I should have put that in the background. There you go. Put this in the background. So, I'll just sit this here. Yeah, you can sit down, but the Avengers were formed. Originally, it was Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. But then, in issue 4, they find Namor the Submariner, and he finds Captain America melted in ice. They unfreeze him, and whoop-de-doo, Captain America's first appearance since the 40s comes in Avengers number 4. I will get you that. In Avengers number 4, well, in a couple issues later, all of the original team the entire original team left. So it was Cap. And he acquired a group of former villains to be in the Fantastic Four, or not the Fantastic Four, the Avengers. So he had 2 former X-Men villains, the son and daughter of Magneto, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch, to be in the group, and former villain Hawkeye, yes, he's a former villain in the comics, to be in the Avengers. So they go on different adventures, different storylines, different heroes joined. There's a whole video about every Avenger ever by BuzzFeed, I think. Trash. But, I'll find it, and I'll put the video name and the channel name in the bottom in the description. A very prominent issue in the Avengers run, I do not remember what issue is, but Ultron is made by Dr. Hank Pym, also known as Ant-Man. So Dr. Pym creates Ultron, and Ultron, of course, goes rogue, just like Age of Ultron, the second Avengers movie. But, just like Age of Ultron, he creates Vision, except Vision doesn't want to be bad. He becomes good and joins the Avengers. Skip forward to the 80s, the Jim Lee run. Jim Lee, he's an artist and comic writer, in X-Men is one of the greatest runs in comic book history. With the X-Men, he did the Days of Future Past saga. It was awesome. Of course, I wasn't alive to see it back in the 80s, but, from what I've heard, it was really, really good. Most of the mutants got killed. Now, moving forward into the 90s, Spider-Man gets into the late 80s, Secret Wars, and Spider-Man gets his symbiote suit, also known as the Spider-Man black suit. You've probably seen it if you've ever seen Spider-Man 3. And yeah, he gets rid of it, and then Eddie Brock takes claim of it and becomes Venom and tries to kill Spider-Man. Enough said. Later in, this will just be a weekend show. No, I'm going to try and produce it on Friday every day. But, next week we will have a special guest, if he cooperates. The Infinity Gauntlet comics in the 90s, where Mr. Thanos, the Mad Titan, this boy, get your head back on right, this boy, him and the Marvel version of Satan, Mephisto, collect all the Infinity Stones. At first, the Silver Surfer tries to stop him, but Thanos Falcon punches him back into the Sanctum Sanctorum, kind of like in Infinity War, when Heimdall bifrosted Hulk back to Earth, and he landed in the Sanctum Sanctorum. But in the comics, that's actually the Silver Surfer. But Marvel, back in 2018, didn't own Fox, who owns the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and the Silver Surfer. So, but they do now. So they should be in the MCU soon. More on the MCU later. But Thanos ends up collecting all the Infinity Stones and snaps. Oh wait, that's cool. He has all the stones in there. So yeah, eventually, so he turns his daughter Nebula into a zombie. Well, when Thanos collects all the Infinity Stones and snaps, he becomes the most powerful being in the universe. And multiple beings like Galactus and, all the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe trying to kick the crap out of him. And he lays a nice cold can of whoop arse on them. Yeah. Well, now he becomes the embodiment of the universe. But his zombie daughter Nebula, his body is still there, like just sitting on the throne lifeless because his soul is in the universe. Well, Nebula decides to take the Infinity Gauntlet off of his body, so Thanos goes off to his body. And Thanos is a poopy butt, so what he does, he's only doing this to be, he's trying to get Lady Death, the Grim Reaper of the Marvel Universe, Lady Death, to become his girlfriend. Because he's a lonely loser. So, Thanos goes back into his own body, and Nebula now has the Infinity Gauntlet, and Falcon punches Thanos. And Thanos is, probably feels like he just got pedigreed through the roof of a car. Well, man, am I bad at talking. Well, Adam Warlock swoops on in, takes the Infinity Gauntlet off of Nebula and says, and Nebula becomes back to life. She's no longer a zombie. Well, Adam Warlock swoops in and he says, Nebula, you can't be trusted with that. I'm going to take it. I'm the, cosmic guardian of the universe. He flies away with the Infinity Gauntlet. Well, Thanos, hangs up the skate, or, hangs up the old armor on a scarecrow and becomes a farmer. Just like the beginning of Infinity War, except he doesn't get his head chopped off while making breakfast, Thor. Fast forward into the early 2000s. Civil War happens between Captain America and Iron Man over a dispute. This team of kid superheroes, I can't remember the exact name of them, were filming in a school trying to stop a guy, and the school blows up. Well, Iron Man's like, well, that ain't good. All superheroes have to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. and the government, I guess. But Captain America's like, well, no, this is a free country. I ain't working for you, S.H.I.E.L.D., or the government. So Iron Man and Cap, let me get my Iron Man. Oh, crap. Bin. Hold on. We're going to have technical difficulties. So right now, Iron Man and Cap are at each other's throats. And the big part of this storyline, you know how Spider-Man, Peter Parker, never wants to reveal his secret identity. So like the Green Goblin and Sandman and Scorpion and other Spider-Man villains, to name a few, will stay away from his family, like Aunt May. Famous cover when Scorpion tries to kill Aunt May in the hospital. I'll show you the cover. It's okay, don't poop your pants. So Iron Man and Cap duke it out. Oh wait, So then Peter Parker has to reveal his secret identity. And then for Iron Man gives Spider-Man the Iron Spider. Just be like, you know what, that was a cool thing you did. Here's a cool Iron Man suit for you. And then All Out War. Spider-Man switches to Team Cap, and then All Out War. There's the famous shot with Cap all tore up, and Iron Man all tore up, and Cap's got his shield, and Iron Man is blasting it, and like with his repulsor ray, and it's all yellow, and the hair's, it's awesome. You'll love it. And now, but the Red Skull used the Tesseract to take over Peggy Carter's niece, I can't remember her name. With the Tesseract, the Red Skull took over her mind, and she shot Captain America in the chest. And just like that, Cap was dead. Well, since Civil War ended, you know how I talked about Marvel's Satan, Mephisto? Well, Spider-Man prances on into his office and is like, I'm going to sign a contract with you because, you know, that's a totally safe thing to sign a deal with the devil. If you erase my real name from everybody's minds. You got it? So yeah, he does. And I think it was like for to kill Aunt May or something. I don't remember. Oh yeah, we move forward to 2008, where the first Marvel Cinematic movie was released. Iron Man. And it was really good. And the next movie was The Incredible Hulk. Not with Mark Ruffalo, but with Edward Norton. Next was Iron Man 2. Then they rifled off Captain America, the First Avenger. Then Thor in 2011. In 2012, all the superheroes joined to beat up Loki in Avengers. Dun, 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 bottom, 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 bum. Dun, dun. Okay, my nerd stuff is over. Then in 2013, they had Thor 2. Well, it's not called Thor 2, but it's Thor the Dark World, the second Thor. And then they had Iron Man 3. In 2014, they had the second Captain America movie, Winter Soldier, where Bucky Barnes, who falls off the train and dies in the first Captain America, comes back as the Winter Soldier because he was brainwashed by the terrorist organization led by the Red Skull, Hydra. Well, in the comics, Bucky gets attached to a bomber plane and it explodes. But he comes back as the Winter Soldier in the early 2000s, near like a little before Civil War. But also in 2014, Guardians of the Galaxy came out. 2015 was Age of Ultron, the second Avengers, about Ultron, who I had mentioned, and the Vision. And the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were in it, and Quicksilver was a really cool character, and they just killed him. Because in the Fox, who owned the X-Men at the time, they already had him in Days of Future Past, which came out a year before Age of Ultron, so they were like, I don't think you should use him. So they were like, you know what, we like Hawkeye. So, you know, say Iron Man is Hawkeye, or Iron Man is Hawkeye and Quicksilver is Cap. Well, Hawkeye's getting, like, shot at by, like, a rogue. It was a rogue shield plane that Ultron was driving. Quicksilver was just like, yeet! And he's dead. He was like, well, And Ant-Man came out, 2016. I'm not going to rifle off all the movies. I'll talk about the important ones. Avengers Infinity War. Thanos collects all the Infinity Stones and snaps. But then, in Avengers Endgame, that final battle scene made me pee, poop, and scream, and cry, and do everything. It was awesome. Of course, Thanos gets all the almost. Thanos was like, Cap is worthy. He takes Mjolnir, Thor's old hammer, and just yeets it at Thanos. Takes his shield, throws the hammer at the shield, and yeets Thanos in the face. Thanos like rips his helmet off, and he's like, "Wow, you're actually good at something." And he's like, and then, of course, Hulk reverse snapped with the Iron Man Infinity Gauntlet. He's like, and Cap touches his earpiece, and it goes, Cap, to your left. And the portals start opening, and all the snap victims are just walking out like, sup, boy. And they're fighting the Chitauri and the Leviathan. Ant-Man yeets it in the face. Oh, it was amazing. But of course, Thanos snaps again, but Iron Man took the Infinity Stones off of Thanos' gauntlet. And of course his armor is nanotech. So it absorbed the Infinity Stones, and of course it almost killed Thanos and Hulk, who are two powerful beings, because the Infinity Stones have so much power if you get all of them. And he's like, it's got too much gamma radiation. He's like, Thanos goes, I am inevitable. Clink! And he looks over. There's no stones on the gauntlet. Iron Man goes, and I am Iron Man. And Thanos, all the Leviathans and Chitauri and Ebony Maw, they all turn to dust, and Thanos is just sitting there like, hamburger, and just floats away into dust. Well, I'm going to talk about some comic issues real quick. Civil War II between Captain I'll be right back. I have these issues. So this is the second Civil War between Captain Marvel and Iron Man. I have no idea. I do not remember what it was about. But, yeah, She-Hulk almost gets killed in it. And then this is the issue where Captain America comes back to life from Civil War. And at the end of it, he goes, Hail Hydra.